English with Deck. Well, I can't complain too much right now. You know, the sun is shining, my belly is full, I have a lovely, refreshing, ice cold cup of water. Oh, to the one side of me, and right next to that, I have a lovely cup of coffee just to wash everything down after a hearty lunch. But that's today. I want to talk about yesterday. Hey guys, it's Deck here from Deck English with another episode of English with Deck. Let's go! Okay, so yesterday was a fun day. You know, it was one of those days where everything just moves into place. It just fits perfectly in the daily schedule. Started off nice and early. I actually managed to squeeze in a couple of lessons nice and early. I started at. Wait, did I do one lesson? 1 second. No, I did one lesson. That was it. Yeah, I did one lesson nice and early. And then quickly went downstairs, helped tidy up a bit, and make some lunch to take with us. And then on the way, we met up with another family, and their son is a similar age to my eldest, so we hang out with them quite a bit, partly because of the kids' ages, which makes them, have similar interests and similar needs, if you will. But also, the kids get along absolutely smashingly, and as adults, we are all in very similar situations and lots of in common. Really great people. You know who you are if you're listening. Yeah. Anyway, everything went perfectly. We met up. We got on the ferry to go over to the mainland. What should I say? The main city area. Anyway, and it was a great day. So the plan was basically the girls, our wives, would take my eldest daughter and their son to the cinema to watch the Bluey movie. And whilst they're doing that, me and my mate would, and my youngest, sorry, would go around the local city, Takamatsu, and just wander around. We were going to work our way to the cinema, and hopefully by the time we got there, my youngest would have worn herself out, and we could sit down and have a coffee. And that worked about 99% accurately. As soon as we got off our ferry, arrived in Takamatsu, we parted ways. Team cinema, sort of jumped in a taxi, and team big walk, if you want to call it that, decided to amble through the side streets, out of the centre of Takamatsu and over to the cinema. Now, normally it would be a 30-minute walk because we were going at a 1-year-old's pace. It ended up being about 50 minutes to an hour, because for the majority of that time she was walking and was pretty determined not to be held. So, I was not complaining. The more she walks, the more energy she uses. The more energy she uses, the more tired she is. The more tired she is, the higher chance of a nap there is. The more likely she is to nap, the more chance we have of just being able to sit down, relax, and enjoy each other's company, uninterrupted. Anyway, partway through our big walk, the little one, she gave up. She had spent all her energy. She needed to recharge. So I threw her into, well, not literally threw her. I didn't pick up, chuck her in the air. And she landed in the baby carrier. No, I picked her up and fitted her into the baby carrier. It's like straps over your shoulders, and then one goes around your waist. The baby just fits into a pouch, if you will, either in the front or the back of you. Anyway, and then as soon as she went into that, she was out. And we continued to walk. At this point, we picked up the pace a little bit. And we got to the complex, the shopping centre complex where the cinema is. And we stepped into a bakery, grabbed a quick iced coffee and a little snack. At this point, the little one woke up. Not a problem, you know. The plan was all going smoothly. Not an issue at all. Anyway, once she was awake, we went up to the play area. And actually, timing wise, it was perfect because just as we got to the play area, which is also in front of the cinema in this complex, the movie finished. So I think we were waiting around for a total of 5 minutes in total. Yeah, 5, 10 minutes. Anyway, then all the kids ended up playing for I think 30 minutes, just in this like indoor play area, using a bit more energy. You had all this usual indoor play stuff, ball pools, what do you call them? Like bouldering walls, indoor soft play area stuff. Lots of fun, lots of germs, and loads of stinky kids. But no, it was great fun. It was good fun, actually. It's great. You pay what? 600 yen, I think it was, for 30 minutes, and the kids can, run around, scream, uh, go wild for 30 minutes. You can buy a day pass, but we were just like, nah, because we didn't know how long we were going to spend there, and we were getting hungry. Anyway, so, at this point, 30 minutes have elapsed, and everyone's getting a little bit peckish. I'm so sorry. A little bit peckish. And the idea had been floating around for hamburgers. All right, let's go for burgers. Surprisingly, in Japan, there are some really good burger shops. They do the big style ones. You can get some pretty small ones, standard ones, but you get some of the really greasy, really stacked burgers if you find the right place. And in the past, we've gone to a different joint in the area, but only occasionally, and it's kind of far. So we were kind of like, well, we can't be bothered to go there because it's too far. And there was one other place which we haven't been to before, but it's actually pretty local or close to our route, should I say, close to our route. And that was funny because every time we thought about going, we were either full from just eating or time didn't allow it. But today, yes, oh yes, oh yes, the stars were aligned. Everything was going perfectly. You know, the kids had just used their energy. They were getting hungry. I was ready for burgers. My wife was in the mood too. Everything was going right. So we hopped in a taxi. Great phrase. Hopped in a taxi. Because of the number of people in our party, we ended up getting two taxis. But yeah, anyway, we hopped in some taxis and we worked our way back into the center of Takamatsu, and we arrived at our destination. Now, I'm going to do a shout out here, and I want to really emphasize this. I am not being sponsored. I did not tell them I will do this shout out. I did not say anything. But those burgers were so damn good. I need to tell you guys. Okay, and the burger joint is called Mugs Cafe in Takamatsu, and it's listed as hamburger cafe place in Kitahama, Takamatsu. So if you guys get a chance to visit, I know it's not classic Japanese food, I know it's not the most healthy, but my god, it is good. Okay, you will enjoy it, and just be prepared to be very full. Anyway, we were pretty tired going in. We were pretty hungry. The hunger pains were starting to kick in, and we got there, and it was great. You walk through the door, you're instantly greeted by the owner, and he was a lovely guy, really friendly, and I think we were quite lucky with time because when we got in, we were second in the queue, and after the people in front of us had ordered, straight up to the counter to order, quickly ordered our food. The whole thing took less than 2 minutes, including decision time. There was a few things on the menu. Nothing. It wasn't overly packed. That was one thing I liked. I am so sorry. I did not take any pictures. I should have done. I will do next time I go somewhere like this, or there again. Anyway, I think there was about 10 things on the menu, or thereabouts. Anyway, and it wasn't overly crowded, the menu. So, you weren't overwhelmed with choice, which is really good in my opinion. Quite often, these places can really go overboard with how much they offer, and there's so much variety, so many recommendations. You're like, which one do I pick? And that in itself can just feel a bit, overwhelming, sort of discouraging. But no, 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 this place had the perfect amount of choice available. Prices were really good as well. And anyway, so I got a double cheeseburger. Yeah, I went nice and simple, double cheeseburger, some chips on the side, not fries. I don't care what you say, they are chips. And I got a mint chocolate shake to wash it down with. Oh, ho, 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 ho. And at the risk of sounding a bit cheesy, when you get that burger put in front of you, something changes. You stop being polite. You stop thinking clearly. You go into burger mode. These were proper burgers, They had some good size on them. The weight, when you picked it up, the oil, the juices running out as you bit into it. Everything was on point. It was not the kind of burger where I started to eat it and I thought, wow, that was all right. Oh, no, 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 no. It was the kind of burger where, after taking my first bite, I turned in my chair, looked at the owner, and I gave him a big thumbs up, and he laughed his head off at that. It required an immediate thank you, an immediate reaction. Oh yes. It was the sort of meal where everyone, including the kids, silence. During the eating process, silence. No one talked, everyone just ate and ate, enjoyed their food. So, okay, apart from the occasional oh, sounds, there was silence. And at the end, I was absolutely stuffed. Now, I did go for the double cheese. So if you are the sort of person who maybe doesn't want to feel absolutely stuffed, with a milkshake, a thick milkshake on top, So if you don't want to feel absolutely stuffed, I would recommend something a little smaller with just a juice or a Coca-Cola. But yeah, if you're feeling like a challenge, absolutely go for it. I really, really recommend that place. And, it was a great experience. I'd been wanting to go there for a long time, and I left feeling absolutely satisfied. And it was a perfect top off to the day. It was a perfect ending to our day. We'd walked a lot. The kids had had a great time. They'd seen a movie. The families had sort of got together and played. We did actually go for some coffee and stuff afterwards. But it was perfect, and that was the cherry on top. So it made up for all the walking, the family chaos, and the slightly grumpy, slightly tired children. So, was Mugs a great I'm so sorry. Was Mugs Cafe great? Yes. Would I go again? Definitely. Would I order the same amount of food again? Yeah, probably. And would I regret ordering that much food afterwards? Absolutely not. It's all part of the experience. Okay, guys, remember, English doesn't have to be difficult.